done polishing the wagon. You can see how much better it looks now than before. It doesn't have all that chalky residue stuff on it. But it took me roughly about 3 days. The last day was just getting the rear bumper because my back was too far gone. I couldn't finish it on the second day. But polishing is finally done, and it looks way better than I thought it would. I don't see a drastic change, probably because I was the one doing all the polishing and everything, but everyone else says it looks pretty good. So, but next step, I'm going to be painting all the trim with Back to Black, and probably the B-pillar and all that other stuff. And then, don't take it to my car. Did you touch it with it? No. Okay, it sounded like it. Gotta do the trim with Back to Black, and then we're going to put a few vinyl touches on, which I'm not gonna leak until the time. And then wax it. The exterior will pretty much be done for the most part. I might end up changing it eventually. But then, yeah. So, it's pretty exciting. I can't wait to get it all done. And I'm super proud about how it came out. And I'm really, really happy that the gas that was staying on here forever came off. And that's Puff in the background losing her stuff. Anyways, but all around looks absolutely amazing compared to before. It all looks shiny like it's glass. So we are in the paint booth here at U-Wrench, of course. I am working on getting this car masked off so we can do the trim and paint it back to black. So there's a few other things that I need painted black that are white currently, but I'll let you guys see as we go along with the video. I forgot my jacket and I got a massive migraine, so I'm working through kind of a bad day already. So I'll get what I can done today. Hopefully we can get it all masked off and even start painting the back to black, but we'll see. But Fred already showed me a little bit of how to do it, and I'm going from there and getting all the pieces I want painted masked off. So let's get started. So this is what Fred has shown me already, how to do a corner, and he did this little line as well as he did down here on the little trim pieces on the door. So I basically know what I'm doing for the most part. I just have to work on getting the whole car masked off, and then we'll get it covered in the plastic that we have. So this plastic, and then we'll go from there. I've never done this before, so I'm doing the best with what I have. The corners are a little different. This tape is super strong for some reason. The corners, you want to just tape your tape over the corner like so. Use your nail to get it up to right where you want to cut it, so right up to the edge. Then you'll get your razor and you'll cut right next to that edge so the trim that you want to paint back to black is showing. This is not the best razor blade. So let's see if the paint's good enough cut. Good enough. Over there. Okay. So not too bad. This is the corner that I did, and a line that I did. And then here is Fred's corner and his line. Now we just gotta get the whole car done. So yeah. All right, one window down, a million more to go. was wasted while masking. This whole side is pretty much all taped off except for the start of the back bumper and the start of the front bumper, but pretty much for the most part taped off. I think I'm going to tape all around here and do just the handle itself black, but I haven't made up my mind yet, so I'm going to wait on that and just get the other side taped. Right, so I forgot to do the inside of this window, but now this entire side is done. Just got to go the hatch, the front where the bumper is, the back where the bumper is, and the entirety of the other side. Alright, so this mirror is going to be a lot harder because it is cracked, and if we, I thought I just cut myself, if we tape over it, the tape is pretty strong, and regardless if it wasn't, it could still peel a piece off. So we're going to try our best, but either way we're going to get this replaced as well as the windshield. So it's not the end of the world if we do get pieces taken off, but if we can avoid that, that'd be better. passenger side is completely done. Brandon has already started on the rear bumper. It's almost done. And he also already did the front bumper for me. So all that's got left to do is that rear bumper, which isn't much, just the bottom part, and the hatch, as well as the duckbill, of course, but pretty far along so far. All right, now I gotta do the hatch, the window, and get the duckbill, as well as take off the license plate, and then I'll be done. Done. All right, she is completely masked off all the way around. We're not doing the windshield, this trim right here, because I'm getting the windshield replaced, and he most likely will do the universal weather trim on that. I probably will do the cowl, but that can be taken off, as well as the mud flaps. I don't want to do on the car because there's so much hidden mud flap that you don't see. I'd rather just do them all, taking them off, but we'll see how that goes. I just noticed I'm not done. I've got this last little piece to do, and then I'll be done. Now all of it is done. Next we got to scuff up all these pieces and get the old trim, or sorry, down here, gotta scuff up these pieces so we can get them all nice and flat and the paint actually sticks to them. So we're on to the next step. We're using the Scotch-Brite, I believe this is 320 grit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 320 to get all of my pieces, the trim pieces that we are painting with Back to Black, getting them all kind of like scratched up so the paint really gets into there. Basically all the shiny pieces are going to turn dull. I got Brandon working on the driver's side just to help me out a little bit because there's quite a bit of pieces that need to be Scotch-Brite, pad, whatever. And then we're wearing our masks because we might have customers as well as we don't want to breathe this stuff in. But yeah, should be fun trying to get all this all dull. But it's the last step before we spray it, so a little bit closer. All right, for those of you who haven't done this before, what I'm basically doing is doling out the trim pieces. So you can kind of see the difference. It's kind of harder to tell on these trim pieces, but basically you're trying to make it so it's not reflective anymore or shiny anymore. You're getting really good into there and scratching it up quite a bit so the paint can go deep into the actual, like actually paint it. You can see the old or the previous owners, I believe they painted the whole car, including the trim pieces, white, and then masked off the trim pieces and painted those black, which is why there's some white coming up from underneath it. I've done both sides, the front bumper's done. Now all I have to do is these rear window pieces and then the hatch and then of course the rear bumper, and then she'll be ready to paint. So now time for the hatch. Done.
Paint the car first. Paint it. Paint it with the turmeric. Paint it your signature yellow. Signature sludge. No, you're right, when you cut it. So I usually do it over from the top to the bottom.
Yeah,
So
cutting it so that you can get that down there, and then I start putting a starter piece of tape. That way the plastic stays where you want it for most of it, and then you can cut more.
So then what about the window?
So that's why I'm not peeling this plastic up. So then you would trim the window and do the same thing.
Okay. spraying it for me, and we're gonna let it sit for a little bit, see if there's any imperfections that we want to fix with a couple more layers, and then we'll go from there. But here's a little bit of a better view. I'm definitely happy with it so far. I'm super excited to see this car with the black trim and everything. It's gonna look awesome. Alright, so we're at the shop today for our first monthly car meet, so hopefully I can see all you guys there. I'm going to take off all the plastic and the tape right now really quick so I can see the final product, and then get her out of the paint booth in case anybody wants to rent the paint booth today. And we've already started it just so I can see what it looks like against the paint, and I'm happy, so that's awesome. Aww. Are you kidding me? I'm really upset right now because the tape just came off completely on the paint, which either means they used really bad paint or that tape is just not good to use. Because didn't do much to the hood, right? Not that bad at all. Then you get to here. This is what it all did. Needless to say, I'm not very happy. For the most part, it looks pretty good, except for right when you get here. But decently good.